Hello, guys. Happy Thursday. It's Miss Bland jumping on to go over Thursday's lesson. I'm going to be short, quick, and to the point. So make sure that if you have additional questions beyond our video, that you reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to go into any deeper detail you may need. Remember, we're still celebrating Dr. Seuss this week. If you're participating at home, send those pictures in. Miss Vester will get them posted on Facebook for you. Remember, your instant words are coming up on Friday. Oh my goodness, it's so close. You're going to be able to say each of your instant words. You will say it to the best of your ability. Then you are going to read six of your phrases from below. And of course, the big kahuna, you're going to read the entire story into Seesaw and record it so that Miss Blaine gets to hear you read. I love to hear you read. Remember, I talked yesterday when I read it out loud to you about those commas. Commas tell me to take a breath. So you might be reading really fast, but when you get to the comma and it says, but it came very slow. You need that breath. You need to make sure you don't skip over those commas, trying so hard to read so fast. Fluency is about accuracy. That means reading it correctly, but it's also about expression. It's about punctuation and your rate. So all those go together to give us a fluency score, not just being a speed reader. Then, of course, at the bottom are your Friday questions that we will answer on Friday. Fluency and vocabulary for today. Your fluency and vocabulary are posted inside of your packet, should be the first page. The vocabulary ladder looks like this, and your vocabulary activity for today is about writing. And your writing prompt says, tell about a time you lost something special. Oh man, we all hate to lose things. So we lost something special. Explain how you might feel if you were able to find the lost item. Yay. Try to use as many of the new vocabulary words from the word bank as possible in your writing. So first you got to tell me what happened. What'd you lose? What was special? What was it? And then tell me how you would feel if you found it. So try to use at least two of our vocabulary words. Try to use at least two. I would love for somebody to use all five. Challenge. But I would love for you to, the requirement is for you to use at least two. But using five would make you a rock star. You'd be a vocabulary rock star. Letterland this week, we're working on Unit 24, and we've been talking about the air sound. And you have these 12 words that will meet you in Seesaw on Friday as well, in a wonderful thing we like to call a spelling test. Remember that air sound? Mr. Robot is so out of breath, he needs some air to keep capturing those letters. And you need to keep capturing amazing spelling. Freckle Juice. Oh, I've had the best time. I've read Freckle Juice for I don't know how many years, but every year I love to read it again. And we are rolling into chapter 4. We've read chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. Today is chapter 4. And we're going to read chapter 4 together. But remember, Miss Bland wants you, when you're listening to the person that's reading you the story, that you're following along inside of your book. You should be on chapter 4, ready to listen, ready to go. If for some reason YouTube just quit working, you should be able to pick up right where they are and keep going. We then I ask that you reread the chapter without the recording and then complete the quiz and questions listed to make sure that you're still getting in some independent reading time. None of the chapters are very long. It's a very short start to getting us into chapter books. It always works well for second graders. So, chapter 4 is before us. Make sure you're on chapter 4. Let's see what Andrew Marcus can do to save himself.
Judy Blume, Freckle Juice, Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Pretty soon something happened, all right. Andrew turned greenish and felt very sick.
He's
His
drank the
stomach
juice.
hurt. At 4 o'clock, Mrs. Marcus came home. Yoo-hoo, Andrew, where are you? She called. Andrew heard her, but he couldn't answer. He was too weak. He made a small noise. Andrew Marcus, is that you? His mother stood in the doorway of her bedroom. What are you doing in here? I told you to play outside. And why didn't you change your clothes? Didn't I say to change your clothes? Andrew made another noise. Mrs. Marcus looked at his face. Andrew, you're green. Absolutely green. Are you sick? Andrew nodded. He was afraid if he opened his mouth, he'd lose the freckle juice. What hurts? Mrs. Marcus asked, feeling his forehead. Andrew moaned and held his stomach. Oh my, appendicitis. You must have appendicitis. I'm going to call the doctor. No, I'd better just drive straight to the hospital. No, I'll call the ambulance. Andrew shook his head, but his mother didn't notice. She said, Don't move. I'm going into the kitchen to use the phone. I'll be right back. Andrew rolled around moaning. Mrs. Marcus came back to her bedroom in a hurry. Andrew Marcus, I've just seen that mess in the kitchen. Did you or did you not make something and eat it? Oh no, I forgot to clean up. Now she knew. Well, he didn't care. His stomach was killing him. Well, young man, I'm surprised at you. Surprised. Mrs. Burroughs offered you milk and cookies and you refused. Then you came home and made yourself an I don't know what, and scared me half to death thinking you had appendicitis. I always thought you were more sensible, Andrew. I just can't believe it. Andrew closed his eyes. Now, young man, you are going to bed. Andrew thought that was the best idea he'd heard in a long time. Mrs. Marcus gave him 2 spoonfuls of pink stuff and tasted like peppermint. Then she tucked him into bed. Maybe the freckles would come out while he was sleeping. Right now, he didn't care much if they ever came out. He hated Sharon. She'd done it on purpose just to get his 50 cents. He'd show her she'd be sorry someday. He drifted off to sleep. He had terrible dreams. A big green monster made him drink 2 quarts of freckle juice 3 times a day. Every time he drank it, the monster got freckles, but Andrew didn't. Andrew woke up sweaty. His stomach still felt funny. His mother gave him 2 more spoonfuls of that pink stuff, and he fell asleep again. The next day, Andrew stayed home from school. He only looked in the mirror once. No freckles. He wasn't surprised. At noon, he drank some hot tea. He wasn't ever going back to school. Sharon wasn't going to see him without freckles, she thought. She thought she was so great. Well, she wasn't going to get the chance to laugh at him. No, sir. But the following day, his mother woke him up and sang, Time for school, rise and shine. Don't forget to wash your neck and behind your ears. She pulled the covers off him. I'm not going to school today, Andrew said. I'm never going to school again. He hid his head under his pillow. So, I've got a school dropout in 2nd grade? We'll have to do something about that. Here are your clothes. I want to see you up and dressed before I count to 15, or you're going to take 3 baths a day, every day for the next 10 years. Andrew got dressed. He ate breakfast bun and drank some milk. But he couldn't let Sharon get away with it. He had to do something.
All right, he's got to do something. He can't let Sharon just get away with almost giving him the worst stomachache of his life. What do you think he'll do? All right, you've got some work with chapter 4. First and foremost, you have your vocabulary words: sensible, moon, appendicitis, court, and dropout. Find the matching definition and use 3 of those words in a sentence. You've got a chapter review where we're going to do some sequencing. You are going to cut. Yes, cut. I said cut. Woo, woo. Yes, we get to cut and glue. We're going to cut and glue the sequential words in order. First, next, then, after that, and last. First, next, then, after that, and last. First, next, then, after that, and last. And then you are going to put the sentences in the correct order that they happened. Remember, my text to self question in the middle says, how would your parents react if they found the kitchen amiss and you sick on the floor? Oh goodness, what would they do if they came in and you had drank the freckle juice? Then of course your quiz. Remember, Miss Blaine encourages you to reread chapter 4 before you do the quiz, but we know some people won't. But I would love for you to. And your comprehension question says, describe Miss Marcus's reaction when she got home and saw Andrew. And number 2, describe what happened when Andrew drank the freckle juice. Use your book for text-dependent answers. All right, math. Math today is great because math is a review. We review so we won't forget. You got it. We review so you won't forget. You are going to solve each of the problems. The first thing you're going to do is turn it vertical. Then you are going to model it here, and you are going to do it the math way here. Please make sure you complete all 4 and check your work. Your place value picture should match the same thing that you get for the answer or the difference in the problem. Here, we're doing some break apart review. Remember, break aparts are great. We've done them with numbers as big as 100, 120, 130. So these 2-digit numbers we've got. Remember, we want to make those beginning numbers into numbers that end in 0. So here they had 62. They made this into 60 and 2. So 60 minus 9, and then that 2 needs to be added back in. 60 minus, yes, needed to be added back in, and that made it 53. They left off the 1. I was like, something's wrong. They left off the 5 right there. I was like, there's something about this not working. And the answer would be 53. Make sure you complete each one of those questions as well. For your spin, some of you don't have the paper clip at home. Some of you can't spin. You can choose one number and do all 4 problems subtracting that number. You can pick one number and subtract from all 4 because there's 4 boxes and 4 numbers. Your choice, as long as your math is correct and your model matches the equation, Ms. Bland and you are good to go. Sojourner Truth is our person of the day. You are to read the passage about Sojourner and what she did. She wasn't born named Sojourner Truth. It was a name change. She was born named Isabella Bumfrey. And you're going to read about her. She lived a very long time ago. She was born in 1797. You know how long ago that was? Oh my goodness. She was born a slave. She was born into slavery. And she gained her freedom by escaping in 1826. And so it goes on to tell you about her, why she changed her name. What did changing her name mean? Who did she try to help? What was she always trying to do? Who did she advocate for? Advocate for means she spoke up for them. Who did she always say needed more rights? They needed to be treated equal. And it goes on to talk about her activism, her meeting the president, all kinds of things happened in her very young life. And so then it talks about her getting older and what that meant for her and why we remember her, why she was important. What did she stand for that was so much bigger than she was? So make sure you read that in full. And then you are to complete your comprehension questions 1 through 8 for at least 4, because there are 8 questions. 4, at least 4. How many, Ms. Bland? 4. At least 4 of your questions. Please show me text evidence. Go back and underline your answer for text evidence purposes. I need to make sure you're comfortable finding your answer. 3rd grade and Read to Achieve are coming. They are on our backs and we can feel them breathing. So it's time for us to buckle down and make sure we can accomplish what we need to do before they get here. So for at least 4, it doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. It might be number 1, number 5, number 6, number 2, and number 8. Doesn't matter. You need to show me the text evidence in the passage. Go back in the passage, underline the answer, and put the number beside it. For instance, the first one says, what was Sojourner Truth's real name? You can take your pencil. It's the very first sentence. Sojourner Truth was born Isabella Bumfrey. And I can put a number 1 beside it. And then on my paper, I'm going to write that answer. She was born Isabella Bumfrey. So make sure you complete each question, but only 4 of them have to be text evidence. What if I want to do them all? Do them all. You'll make me shout up and down. I'll be so excited. That's it for today. You have seesaw activities that, of course, you need to check on that are spell review and spelling work. But remember, I have office hours every day from 2:45 to 3:45. I am going to be in a meeting on Thursday at 2:45, but I can respond to Dojo. I cannot jump on Zoom because I'll already be in a Zoom, but I can respond to Dojo. So if you need me tomorrow between 2:45 and 3:45, send me a Dojo message and give me a little time and we'll work it out. All right, so you're going to complete all your packet pages for Thursday. You are going to check Seesaw to complete your assignments there. You are going to Check the Bailey Specials webpage to make sure you've done what was required for your exit ticket work. And of course, if there's time, you're going to read an epic book or a self-selected book. That means any book from anywhere. It could be from the Dollar General, Dollar Tree, you ordered it online, Amazon, wherever. Mom and daddy gave it to you for a birthday present. Wherever that new book came from, or that book that your grandma had and your dad had it, now it's yours. All of those are self-selected reading, SSR. You can read those anytime. So let me know if I can help. Let me know if I can do something. Otherwise, I want you guys to have a wonderful afternoon. Stay safe, take care. Make sure that if you have questions, you ask. And if not, we will see you on Friday. Also, Friday, track A, we will Zoom for an hour. So we will go over, finish up, we'll read chapter 5 together. We'll work on chapter 5's work. We'll do all that together on Friday. I know we don't usually Zoom, but we weren't in school before, so it's a little different now. So join us Friday if your schedule allows so that you can Zoom with us. I hope you guys have a great one. Take care.